Hey guys, Mr. Movie, and I know it's been a while since I've done a Saga review, but today I'll be reviewing the whole saga of Rocky, and this will be including the Creeds and 2006 Rocky Balboa, or 2005 or 2006 Rocky Balboa. So, first, right off the bat, we got Rocky. This movie starred Sylvester Stallone, Carl Weathers, Talia Shire, Burt Young, good cast, and then it was about a guy who Rocky, who wanted to become a fighter, and Apollo Creed challenged him to a match to show how he wants to make other people kind of like big fighters, kind of. And so, yeah, and then stuff I liked about this movie, the fight, I thought the fighting scenes were pretty intense. They were pretty accurate, too, I think. I've only seen a couple fights. I'm not a huge fan of boxing in general, but, yeah. And the set, the whole time the set looks really nice. Like, all the neighborhoods and stuff. The training scene, too. The whole time when he was running through town, it looked great. And then the story in general, it was a great story. You see the story now a lot today, but it was a great story, and the fact that Sylvester Stallone didn't do anything before this, and he came in and made the story, that was really cool. And the only thing I didn't like, Apollo Creed, I think he makes the movies a little silly and kind of like cheesy-ish, I guess. So yeah. But overall, though, I gave Rocky a 95%. I definitely recommend checking it out. And on to Rocky 2. Let's see. Okay. So this movie also starred Sylvester, pretty much the same people as last time. So, and it was about Creed wanting a rematch for some weird reason. And so they do a rematch. Stuff I liked about this movie. The fighting scenes also looked good in this movie. And the acting. I thought Sylvester Stallone, Carl Weathers, two really good actors. And then Talia Shire, I enjoyed her in the first one too. And then Burt Young, he's good. And then the stuff that happened outside the boxing arena and training and all that stuff. Like Rocky got married in this movie towards the beginning of the movie. And it was kind of emotional and stuff too. So I really enjoyed that about this movie. And then the only things I didn't like, though, it was this one was more silly than the first one, I thought. Yeah. And then there's really no point why they were fighting. Creed won, he knew he won, and then this one they all got it just didn't really make sense in my opinion. But overall, I'll give Rocky 2 an 80%. I'd recommend watching it. Yeah. On to number 3. Rocky 3. So this one starred the same people, but adding Mr. T. That's it. And this one was about Clubber wanting to fight Rocky, and yeah. Stuff I liked about this movie. The setting, I thought the setting also looked great in this movie. This movie had a different kind of taste, I thought, than the second one. Maybe in the first. I thought it was more darker, kind of. And yeah, I like that about this one. And then the fighting scenes are good too. It was kind of like, wow, you did a good job in that fight, kind of. And then the acting I thought was good. All the actors did good. Mr. T, he was kind of just like screaming all the time, but yeah, whatever. And then the soundtrack, obviously, good soundtrack. Yeah. They kind of made it a little different in this one. I think they took away kind of like the the electric part of the score. Which, I thought that made it better. And then the things I didn't like, though, the opponent I thought was kind of weak. He wasn't the best. Mr. T did fine. He did the best. He might have done the best he could as the opponent. I just thought the opponent was weak in general. And then, there was some pretty cheesy shots, like, when they were working out. You show, like, bulging muscles or their thighs. It was kind of weird. But yeah, overall, though, I'll give Rocky 3 an 81%. I did enjoy it more than the second one. And on to Rocky 4. So, Rocky 4 starred all the same people, subtracting Mr. T and adding in whoever played Ivan Drago. And it was about Ivan Drago coming over from Russia to fight Rocky Balboa to show how the Russians are stronger. And so stuff I liked about this movie, the training scene in this one I thought was fantastic. Besides the part they did not play the Rocky theme song, I just thought it was good anyway, because it showed how Ivan Drago was training with technology the whole time, while Rocky was training with lifting rocks and all that stuff. And also the idea, when they were in press conferences, it felt like a real press conference, I thought, because Drago was like, one of the people made a really stupid point that was easily just trying to covering up somebody, and sometimes you feel that about real life too, and they made it kind of like feel like real life in this movie. And I also like the enemy. Ivan Drago is really intimidating. Yeah, for that reason. And the only things I didn't like though, it was a little silly. Yeah, and they had some weird glares on the camera. Somebody would be punched like really hard, and it'll be like big glares, kind of stupid. And then, yeah, it's really I gave Rocky 4 65%. Only if you like the Rocky movies, I'd recommend checking this out. But yeah, next on to Rocky 5. This one was about Rocky's kid, going to school, and two kids bullying him while he tries to help. Yeah. Stuff I liked about this movie. Sylvester Stallone. He was probably the best part, easily. In my opinion, he's kind of like a charming kind of dude. Yeah. And then, I thought the whole movie, it kind of looked like the first. It had the same atmosphere as the first, kind of. But yeah. And the things I didn't like. It's pretty silly. The soundtrack was kind of stupid. They didn't even play Rocky Wins or anything like the whole time. It was kind of weird. And then the villain. It had a really dumb villain. And then the idea. The idea just did not mix. Instead of having a fight scene, they had something else, which is not cool. And then the story. It was a pretty basic story. Yeah. Overall, I gave Rocky 5 42. This is my least favorite in the whole trilogy, so nothing is worse through there. And then next on to Rocky Balboa. This stars all the same people, subtracting Talia Share and who's ever I said earlier. It just has Sylvester Stallone, Burt Young, and his kid. Really, and then there's this other female. I don't really know her name, but yeah. And then the stuff I liked about this movie. It was about Rocky coming back and wanting to fight this newer dude. So, and stuff I liked about this movie though, they looks like they had a different color scheme kind of. It had a little bit of a darker color scheme because somebody was walking in front of a headlight. Instead of headlight being like a yellowish color, it was like bright white and stuff. Unless they use LED lights, but whatever. And then the set, I thought the set looks really nice the whole time. Yeah, it looks great. And then the score, this is probably my favorite version of the Rocky theme song. It sounded great. And then the idea, it had a cool idea of him trying to come back. I don't know how old he was, maybe like 50 or 40, 50 in this movie, but yeah. And things I didn't like though, there's a little too much emotional scenes. I didn't really like that too much. And this wasn't really something I didn't like, it was just something that was kind of weird. I thought Rocky Balboa looked more ripped than the other guys, so yeah. But overall, I'll give Rocky Balboa 90%. I definitely recommend checking this one out. Great Rocky movie. Next, on to Creed. And so, Creed was about a new wrestler, Apollo Creed's son, Adonis Creed, going on and trying to fight this other guy who punched his opponent when they were doing the white things. So yeah. So stuff I liked about this movie. The start, it had a pretty kind of cool start. They right into a fight with Adonis Creed and some other dude. And then the idea, I thought the idea was pretty cool to have it be Apollo Creed's son, not Rocky's son, because Rocky's son is kind of scrawny. But, yeah. And then I thought the story was pretty cool. Yeah. And then the only things I didn't like, there was like the descriptions. They'd have like a new fighter come in, and then they just pop like the descriptions right on the side. I didn't really like that too much. I didn't think it was that cool. But overall, though, I'll give Creed a 93%. I'd recommend checking it out. And now, the challenge to find Creed 2. Because I reviewed that last year, so it should be around here. There it is. Sweet. Alright, so Creed 2 was about Adonis Creed's son coming back, and the Russians wanting to come back with Ivan Drago's son. So stuff I liked about this movie, the acting, whoever played Ivan Drago's son, and yeah, and then the Michael B. Jordan in general, he did a good job. Sylvester Stallone did a great job again. Burt Young, Talia Shire weren't in this one, so, and Mickey, yeah. So yeah, and then, Okay, for some reason it says it's like Captain America. If you want to know what that means, you can probably go to Creed 2, my Creed 2 review, and find out what that means, because I totally forgot. Um, oh yeah, and then they also made it seem how it was both families, kind of. Like it showed how big the Dragos were dealing with this, and how bad it was for them, too. So it kind of made you feel for both sides. It was like, T1, I wouldn't be so ticked as I would. But yeah. So the only thing I didn't like was the cancer thing. They just kind of like dissed that at the beginning. If you remember, if you did see Creed, they were like Rocky got cancer, and they just kind of like dissed that at the beginning. Which, yeah. But overall, I'll give Creed 2 a 95%, being my second favorite Rocky movie. And yeah, I guess that's it. That's all the Rocky movies there is now. I don't know if they're making a Creed 3 or not, but I will watch it if they do make a Creed 3. They're probably gonna make 5, and they're gonna do something like Clubber's Son or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so, yep, see you next time, movie fans.